The RGT Rescuer is one of the most fun, full-sized, full-featured RC crawlers in my RC garage. My review, my follow-up, the mud video we've done, all of this shows you just how much fun we've had with this thing. It's truly a fun machine, and it's time for some much needed upgrades. It's time for the Rescuer to be all that it can be. Let's do it. So here's what we've got. You'd think after 2 years of filming I'd be prepared. Wow, these are pretty hefty. 128 grams? That's ridiculous. Ooh. So there's a little light for the bull bar. Bigger light to replace the faux one on the roof rack. Whoa. It's actually been a while since I ordered all these. So we have a proper interior with seats and everything. So it's a polycarbonate base. We've got a driver and stickers and a dash with a steering wheel plastics as well. Brilliant. So interior, just some weight for the front. I might actually put these on the rear, these portal outers, and these portal outers on the front. That's a good combination. Don't want too much weight in the rear. And some lights. Brilliant. So that's a bunch of good stuff. A little bit of weight, a little bit of lighting. As much as these lights are already great, the extra lights are going to be even better. Now this thing actually pops out. So this little fella, he's going to go right in here. Brilliant. And then the big one goes up there. So interior, which is I think sorely needed. For a fun machine, that's all I want to do. I don't really want to add anything more than that. This is a good combination. First of all, there's a little dude in here now. He hasn't got a name yet. This is a polycarbonate interior. It had a bunch of stickers. I'll show you a photo because it's hard to show you inside the car now, but it certainly looks cool. I painted his sunglasses black and there's a sticker on his shirt. The whole interior is a matte black finish. It looks really good. I also, going along with adding stuff, I added a few things to the top. Now this isn't from RGT. This is homemade, bought, and I don't know, 12 years old now. We've also added a light bar and another light bar in there. Then you just had to pop out the old plastic spacer and stick that in. So now you've seen the pictures. Now this adds all a little bit of weight up top. The other thing I've added is brass portal outer in the rear and these big 128 gram portal outers in the front. The end. That's the upgrades in a nutshell. Let's power this thing up and see what it looks like, and then we're gonna just throw it around the 6 problems and just see if this brass makes much difference. It probably does, but it may not. Let's take a quick look. All right. I do like these body retention pins underneath. They're quite cool. Now, I had to reposition the light controller. It previously was on the body. RGT has a bunch of these cable management pieces inside, which is good. They also partly secure this interior, plus 2 more under the front hinges for the hood here. So the body isn't entirely lightweight. I've added a little bit of stuff, but yeah, it certainly looks good. We just need to make sure we plug in that light controller. As I did the brass portal covers, I got to have a look inside. I have a video on their channel with a big thumbnail that says mud. We ran this and the TRX4 with Simon in the mud one day. And I didn't do any maintenance on this thing and it got absolutely submerged multiple times. God, I got the wrong adapter. I was pleased to find anyway, you can see from this photo here, the gears inside the portals were absolutely good. The bearings are all happy. I tested everything when I had it open. Yeah, these are glued, so you couldn't take them apart to dry them, and I never sealed them before we did the wet driving, but it's still smooth as silk. The only thing I really had to do, and you can see from this photo, under here I've got a plastic bag with a zip tie around it. It's not submergibly waterproof, not really, but it certainly did the job. There are a few ways you can deal with that, but anyway, it's all plugged in now. I just need to go and get the right adapter because I usually use XT60s. I'll just go get the right one. All right, an adapter. I buy packs of these, male and female of them, and also of these. And I've got a bunch of different adapters I make, some with wires and some that are just like short, like this guy. I just put the two things together and you end up with a nice adapter for whatever battery you've got. You buy them for a few bucks and then you can just solder them yourself. Or, of course, these days you can buy anything pre-made. Oh, I also learnt while I was putting this together that these bash bars just kind of snap on and off. I had to snap them off so I could get the bull bar out so I could screw those things in. It was a nice little installation. And quite honestly, this car deserves this interior. It deserves to have all this goodness added to it. The ground goes on the other end like that. And you know, it's just occurred to me that I haven't even tested this since I did all the wiring. And actually that brings me to another thing to note about the installation of all these bits. Nothing came with instructions. You do pay more when you buy something like a Traxxas set of upgrades. Like a lot more. Oh yeah, there are links and descriptions for all this too. Thank you for your support if you use those. But the one nice thing about going with a big brand like Traxxas is that your documentation is going to be just right up there with quality. It's probably the most lacking thing with these cheaper brands, even though RGT is becoming a big brand now. Documentation could be better. Okay, let's have another go. Power on. Oh no, do the channels, Craig. I always forget these little things. There we go. Now this is that top switch. So one's on, everything's on. But I noticed this guy's not on. He is plugged in. Crikey. Let's just try and connect it to the black and white one instead of the blue and white one. They might actually have different functions. Again, I didn't have any instructions, so I kind of just had to guess. Oh, there we go. She's on now. I wonder what the blue one does. Well, not to worry. We got there eventually. I never know whether to make these videos short or to keep some of my clown show in. I'm just mucking around here. Time just ticks by sometimes and I'm just wrestling with a model. Okay, wrestling with a model. Yeah, there are different things I could be doing with my time today. That one didn't really cross my mind. Alright, there's the back. Whoa. Gee, I'm getting good at this now. It's the 5th time I've done it in 15 minutes. Alright, body's in, mirrors are out, body's pretty. One last go. Oh look, 2 of the LEDs are out, that's a shame. That's brand new. Off. Flashing. On. And let's have a look at the back here. Oh, yep, reverse lights and everything. I forgot how cool this little car was. Now, I've just remembered, now that we're here, that this car is much better on 2S, not 3S. It's just geared a little bit higher for 3S, or 12 volts. So control will actually be a little bit harder with its gearing and the volts. Pulling the track apart. It's not all that heavy, but it does have a moderately high center of gravity. Tell you what, gee, that looks good, doesn't it, with the driver in there. We're ripping off the rear here. Do you know what? She's actually quite heavy now. And it's all coming back to me. It's been so long. I've just changed my mind. I'm just going to keep this as a trailing rig. It seems kind of silly to punt this around the 6 problems. I'm just going to make everything hot. Whatever it could do before, I'm going to take an educated guess that all this weight we've added down low is going to reasonably offset the weight that we've added up top. But it was worth it to give it this interior and just to put a little bit of fruit on top, I just made a swag out of just a roll of foam and some fabric tape. And yeah, it looks good. I'm just going to drive it for a little bit instead. Let's just drive it around for a bit. Whoa. Oh dear. I remember during my little 6 problem attempt there that it was already a fairly punishing drive when we did the review. So adding this extra weight just cements it in my mind as being just a stellar trail truck, and that is, I think, how I'm going to keep it. I think it was a worthwhile investment. The interior was really a missing element from this machine. Given that it's just such a trail darling, it really wanted that kind of detail inside. I personally love getting lost in the feel of just driving a real truck. And the lights are nice. It's a shame that those 2 LEDs are not working, but we can live with that, and I think it was worth doing the upgrades as well. Find the links to the parts I've added in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me for my long-awaited follow-up to the RGT Rescuer. I do think the brass down low is necessary if you add this extra stuff on top, because you are otherwise making the center of gravity worse. But it is, I think, a worthy combination of parts. Links down below, likes down below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again real soon on RC-TNT. Cheers.